So how do you know if someone is lying? What behavioural tells should you be looking for? And if you're speaking to somebody and they do this, what should you do and how quickly should you do it? So welcome back to the Believe in Bruce channel. Performance psychology, mental health, well-being, anything to do with the head and heart, then this is the channel for you. But also, a lot of my videos are on body language, which seems to be providing some intrigue, some knowledge, some excitement amongst my viewers. So what I'm going to do today on this video is that due to the coronavirus, the boxing, the world in general, it's a barren place at the moment. It is barren. So what I'm hoping to do is go back through some of my stuff and just create a series of short videos for some content and try to educate you on the stuff that I look for in relation to body language so you can use this in your everyday life. And again, when it comes to body language, there's only really one person who the world trusts.
Believe in Bruce.
Believing a Bruce.
Believe in Bruce.
What more can I say? And there's loads of stuff out there in relation to body language reading within sports, within boxing, MMA is really, really important. It gives you a huge edge, a huge competitive advantage over your opponents, because if you can notice the tells or the observable signs that they give off, and if needed you can play on them, that gives you a huge advantage. But also, just in life in general, I've helped out within accident investigations, couples counselling, one-to-one elite level performance coaching. Hell, I've even saved organisations, big corporate global organisations, millions of pounds by being brought in to just observe the room during contract negotiations. And that's it, because when you tend to be asking questions, you're in the moment, you're almost thinking, what do I need to say next? But when you bring someone in as an observer, someone who can watch what's going on, that's when you can pick up a lot of what's not being said, but it's more powerful than the words that are being offered. So the context setting was KSI versus Logan Paul, and the actual part here that I'm going to go into was, it was the final press conference. Eddie Hearn was doing his bit as the compere or the host, whatever you want to call it, I'm not sure. And then he offered something. Now, bearing in mind I had been watching Eddie Hearn, Logan Paul and KSI across the whole press conference. And Eddie Hearn was going to ask the final question. And what I'd like you to do here is just watch what Eddie Hearn does with his finger.
Let's have some boxing questions, please.
That's what I'm saying. Now, one question.
I've got some questions, and then we're going to go to the floor as well. Thank you. KSI, this one for you. Hanging around you the last couple of days,
yes.
I gave you the question yesterday, which was, you really want to win this fight.
So body language is about what we are verbalizing versus what the body is doing. And what we've got is a T-junction, all right? Roughly 2 seconds before, 2 seconds after. What was that person saying at that particular point with that bit of grey area either side? And then what was their body doing? Now, if you listen to what Eddie was saying at that particular time,
you really want to win this fight.
He had asked KSI a question. And as he's saying, I was asking KSI a question, this is where the hand comes up and he rubs his nose.
And you the last couple of days, yes. I gave you the question yesterday.
Now, this is not my opinion. Biology does not lie. Eddie hadn't rubbed his nose in any of the previous comments or questions, that he never rubbed him in the ones after this. But at that particular time, there was a story going on inside Eddie's head, which is why you see the hand come up and rub the nose. And when you start to learn and start to observe people rubbing their nose, then you think, okay, there's something going on here. For me, I'm like a dog with a bone. I am not going anywhere. I've got you. And I'm going to start asking more specific questions because I want to get to the truth. And this is the point that I would like to get over here. When somebody rubs their nose, it's called the Pinocchio effect. Yeah, when somebody rubs their nose, it's not a guarantee that they're lying. Now, I don't want to ruin anybody's dreams or you amateur detectives out there. You can never guarantee that somebody's lying. But what you can guarantee is that there was a story going on inside their head whilst they were saying those words. Biology doesn't lie. He never rubbed his nose before, he never rubbed his nose after. That there, at that particular time. And when you hear the question that he was phrasing, it was about, KSI, you need to win this fight. That's where we saw the rub come out. So if I had to hazard a guess about what was going on within Eddie's head there, he's probably looked at Logan Paul, he's looked at KSI, you know, we can see the physical difference. Logan Paul was the much bigger guy, much muscular guy. He looked at, you know, observably more impressive. So I think something was going on in Eddie's head, quite rightly, about, he's a big fella, do you really think you've got a chance? So when he's had that conversation, that's where the finger starts to rub his nose. He's got that inner narrative that's going on, that thinking, actually, this may not be as easy as you think, or I'm not too sure, or I'm not as confident of you winning as you may be. Now, there's a number of reasons why people rub their nose or touch their face and all this type of stuff when there's something else going on inside the head. But the biology behind it, there's various studies that says, you know, it's the erectile tissue. When you know you're saying something that you're not quite confident in, it can increase the blood flow to the nose, which is why we give it, it becomes aroused is the term that we use. But also there's been some studies done in universities across in Granada where apparently the orbital muscle around here starts to heat up, which is why you might find someone touching the side of the nose. But again, it doesn't really matter what's going on. To say, you eat some Mars bars, alright, you eat some Mars bars. You don't need to know how, you just know if you keep eating them, you're going to get fat. Same with rubbing the nose. We don't need to know why it does it, just that if somebody rubs their nose at that particular time, there's another narrative going on inside the head. And I get why Eddie would have thought that. You know, a lot of people, I thought Logan Paul was impressive. But again, heuristic biases come in. We start looking at data based on emotional reasoning rather than logic. And hey, just in the past month, there's a lot of boxing aficionados and boxing experts made the same mistake with heuristic biases when they thought Deontay Wilder was going to win Tyson Fury. So again, remember, when somebody does this, it doesn't mean that they're lying, but what it does mean is there's another narrative going on inside the head. So again, I'm going to do some more body language examples in the next few days. I'll try and do one a day, because the content that's being offered at the moment, obviously we're going to have to go into the archives. That's one of the beneficial things about body language. So any of the guys on the boxing channels, if you're looking for something to do that, you know, people will find interesting and also educational, give us a bell, send us a message, and I'll see if I can bring my expertise to help you on your channel. But also the next video we'll be looking at is what this scratch meant to Andy Ruiz. What was going on inside his head, which I explained in one of my videos, and by God, wasn't that bang on. I absolutely nailed that one. So thanks for watching. Subscribe below if you're interested in more body language or anything to do with the head and heart from a psychological perspective. Contact us on Instagram if there's any specific things that you'd like us to focus on. If you've got any people or examples of body language where you say, hey, believe in Bruce, cast your eye over this and tell me what you think, then please do. But more importantly, believe in Bruce. Remember to be kind to yourself and each other.